evening. This is Priya Siddiqui and you're watching Plain Speak. Dramatic scenes played out at the district hospital in Chitradurga this evening. At the center of this big controversy emanating from Karnataka is Swami Shivamurti Muruga Sharanaru, a religious leader of the state's politically powerful Lingayat community who was arrested yesterday over rape allegations. Now, after evading custody, hiding behind the health card, this Seer finally has been sent to police custody till the 5th of September by a local court. Remember, the 64-year-old Seer who heads the Muruga mutt is one of the key Lingayat seminaries. He has been accused of rape by 2 minor girls, and a case against him under POCSO and under the law protecting scheduled castes and tribes was filed 6 days ago. 6 days, ladies and gentlemen. That's how long it took for the police to finally nab the Seer and accused under POCSO, where an arrest within 24 hours is mandatory. But clearly not in the case of Shivamurti Muruga Swami, who was only arrested on the night of September 1st. That too, after day-long protests by civil society and social organizations across Karnataka's Chitradurga and Mysuru districts, and of course, a relentless coverage by CNN News 18. So 6 days, the police does not touch him. System continues aiding him. After all, what explains the high-profile visits that the Seer received? And when the arrest finally does happen, extreme caution is exercised, barricading the front door of the mutt hours before the arrest and then taking him out by the back door. Now, what are we looking at over here? Who are the people who are accused of this massive horror? Let's look at the screen here. Shivamurti Muruga Sharanaru, who is the pontiff, the chief pontiff of the Muruga mutt. He finally has been arrested. He is accused number 1 in this particular case. The second accused is Rashmi, who is the warden of Muruga mutt. Now, she, of course, also has been arrested, accused number 2 in this particular case. Now, 3 others are on the run. One of them is a minor, in this case, a junior pontiff of the Muruga mutt. He too is on the radar. He is currently on the run. He's a minor, so we are not revealing his identity at the moment. The fourth one is Paramashivaya, who's the hostel head. He too is on the run. He is also at large, so he is accused number 4 in this particular case. And the fifth and the final one is Gangadhar, who's also a lawyer, by the way. He too is at large, and he is accused number 5 in this particular case. Now, if we have to actually go ahead and talk about what has happened when it comes to the timeline of this particular case, how has the law caught up with this Seer? Let's first take a look at the crime in this particular case. Like I was talking about, the crime is, of course, the crime of 2 minors who have now sexually assaulted, who were sexually assaulted, and this act happened between 2019 January to June in 2022. Let's now take a look at the action. The action in this case is an FIR that was registered by the Mysuru police on the 26th of August. Today is the 2nd of September, ladies and gentlemen. 6 days, and yesterday is when the arrest was finally made, and that too after a lot of dramatic scenes. So 6 days after the FIR was registered and a case was registered under POCSO is when the arrest finally happened. Let's also take a look at the cover-up. Now, Swami in this case has tried to flee. This happened on the 29th of August. The cops, in fact, ended up detaining him, bringing him back to the mutt. Then comes the defiance. Now, he goes on, addresses his supporters, his disciples. That too, on that very day when he tried to flee, that is on August 29th, he, in fact, is alleging a conspiracy in this entire scenario. Then also comes the unease. Now, what he has done is also approach the court. Now, if he is not guilty of the crime, then why approach the court seeking anticipatory bail? Now, this happened on 29th of August as well. Then comes the clincher. Now, he's finally arrested on September 1st, 6 days after the FIR was registered in this particular case. Let's also take a look at the dramatic scenes that I've been talking about. Of course, so much has happened out of Chitradurga in Karnataka. These are the visuals that will take you through from the arrest that happened on the night of September 1st. 10:07 p.m. is when the Lingayat Seer was finally arrested. These are the dramatic visuals that are being played out. This is when the arrest happened. 10:07, late night arrest in the case. Very dramatic scenes. Of course, the police exercising a lot of caution when it comes to the arrest of the seer. Now comes 11 a.m. next morning, that is today, Shivamurthy Swami is being taken to the hospital. Now remember, people, for 6 days he was absolutely fine. There was no health concerns whatsoever. However, this morning we hear that he is experiencing some sort of discomfort and hence that admission to the hospital is required. Now comes 11:30 a.m. when the seer moved to ICU after the chest pain complaint. Now, within half an hour of he being admitted to the hospital, he complains of chest pain and he's admitted to the intensive care unit. Let's now take a look at what happened after. This is at 3:40 p.m. where the seer has left the hospital. He's taken to the court. Remember, he's trying to evade arrest also. That is the big charge against him. He is taken to the court here on a wheelchair. The doctors really claim that he's not able to move, he's not talking much. These are very dramatic visuals that are played out at 3:40 p.m. today. Then at 4:20 p.m. the Lingayat Seer is sent to 4 days of police custody. So that's finally happened. Police custody was being sought of the seer. All this while he's been trying to evade any kind of arrest, and now finally at 4:20 the court had ordered a 4-day police custody for the seer in this particular case. At 4:50 p.m. the Shivamurthy Swami leaves the court and then goes ahead to the hospital. So all this has been happening when it comes to this particular case. The drama really unfolding every hour. It has been happening since last night when the arrest was first made till today evening. That is the big question that we're also asking. What is really happening in this particular case? Now, we are debating today the rape accused seer in police custody. Now, finally, that has happened, but is this a delayed action and is this a deliberate one at that? That's the big question that we continue to debate on Plain Speak.
Age after 60 or 40, 50, 60, there are chances of some diseases like heart problems and all.
ಕಾನೂನು ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ನಡೀತದೆ. ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತನಾಡುವುದು ಸರಿಯಲ್ಲ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮುಕ್ತವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ.
Joining me on the broadcast this evening is Ajay Gautam, founder Hum Hindu. Also joining me is advocate Sriram Nayak, who is the petitioner and also the lawyer when it comes to the people who are the victims in this case. Brinda Adige, activist, also joins me on the broadcast, and also joining me is former IPS officer Yashovardhan Azad.